Today is October 25th, 2021 at 9 p.m. Almost like an internal clock going off on the inside. Tonight, in my sleep, I am going to revisit the Book of I. That's my dog who has to. He has to make his presence known regardless of what I'm doing, okay? Kingston, it's enough. Let's try this again. Let's see how far I get before he starts making his presence known. Today is October 25th in the year 2021 at approximately 9 o'clock p.m. nighttime. I plan this evening to revisit the Book of I. I'm going to revisit the portion where Illuminati, also known as I, amongst his men and amongst the people of the Iroquois, Illuminati. The portion where Illuminati goes to his father, Montezuma, also known as T, the man that focuses primarily on the truth. Montezuma, his son, Illuminati. When he goes to his father and he says that he wants to know the truth about all things, he wants to share the same knowledge that his father has on all these things, including the truth. And his father ignores him and allows him to get to the point where he is angered at the fact that his father is ignoring the request that he's making. And then he screams to his father and he says, "I am you." And then his father turns around and he says, "Well, for right now, I want you to be your mother. So go visit the Huron and we'll pick up where we left off this evening at a later time." And with that, he picked up his things and walked out, and he was angered by what his father said to him. And so he went to the Huron. Now, the embodiment of the Father shall always be the image of the Son. So when you carry that forward to another image, primarily holding position under the Huron, you have to go to Hiawatha. And when you go to Hiawatha, you have to remember that name carries some weight with animals. Somebody's screaming in the background. Did you hear what I said? Yes, did Illuminati hear what his father said? He said, I want you to go in on your mother's side, which is the Huron side, and I want you to carry some weight. Carry some weight with the Huron. That's what he said. So tonight I'm going to revisit that book in my sleep because the things that are bothering me about what I see in today's world is that they never carried forth any of the knowledge from previous days. And another thing that bothers me, and I'll give you an example in just 2 seconds. Another thing that bothers me is the amount of money that they spend today planning for the future, or so they say, but the rules were firmly embedded in a previous day. You are not to use any type of resources planning for tomorrow until you resolve the problems that are before you today. You are never to use any form of resources focused on the future when you have yet to resolve the problems of today. And why is that? Because you carry those problems forward in the future. So where I saw a news article that said Kathy Hochul invested $30 million into some drone company, that is wrong. She is moving in the wrong direction. If you don't fix the problems of today, investing in even tomorrow or a future outlay based on your vision of the future without solving the problems of today, you will only carry the problems of today forward. And so it's written. The other thing that bothers me is this case involving Gabby Petrello and Brian Laundrie. The reason why it bothers me is because of the amount of resources they used on this case, which ultimately falls on the shoulders of all taxpayers, not only today, but tomorrow. And so it bothers me that when they did the initial search of that reserve, that they didn't follow the old ways. And the old ways were you set the perimeter, and there can be multiple perimeters. So and then once you set the perimeters, whoever's in charge, whether it's 1,000 feet by 1,000 feet or whatever they set for the perimeters, you section off pieces of land using wooden stakes and string, and you have somebody sit at the entrance of that to log all the people that are entering into the perimeter and make it clear what they are supposed to do within that perimeter, because evidence is evidence is evidence. And at that petitioned off subliminal door, gate, if you will, they're supposed to take down the name and any other identification of those people entering the perimeters and give them clear instructions on what to do. Because a volunteer can also be a witness or a suspect. And so that bothers me. that those old ways are not carried through today. And while they're picking up things using rubber gloves as they do today, back in the day, it was the first print from whoever volunteered to comb the area. It was already noted in a log, so they couldn't hold those people accountable even if the prints were there, as long as they were logged correctly. And so those things bother me. But I'm going to revisit in my sleep tonight the Book of I, because those were solid ways. In all matters, big and small, they had it all under wraps. In all matters, big or small. So, looks like my dog's finally calmed down. I noticed when I said Hiawatha's name, he just sat right up and then looked around and went into this little cuddle zone over there. That name carries some weight even with animals, doesn't it? All right. I'm sure there will be another segment on the Book of I.